welcome to the PODical Son Podcast. I am your host, James Harris, a.k.a. Marvello Hathaway, your brother, your cousin. Very, very, very blessed once again to share with you the Black experience, the growing up of who I am, and just want to introduce you to some of the wonderful people that I've known over the course of my life, some people that have piqued my interest, some people that have inspired me, some people that I've watched, some people that I get to tell the story that I even know them personally. And I have two guests with me today that are definitely some people that I'm very fond of and thankful that I know personally. My first is a person that you've seen within the Nation of Islam, a strong, towering figure. You've seen him stand next to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. You've seen him help young Black men all over the state of Arizona. You've seen his company, Maximum Potential, and the blossoming and the blooming of what it is. You've seen him as a coach for the Desert Edge High School football team, product of Buffalo, New York, product of Mosque Mariam and Mosque 32.
Yes, sir.
My brother, Eric Muhammad. How you doing today, man?
Man, it's a complete honor, brother. Thank you so much, man. That's a lot, man. I don't deserve all that, man.
Hey, that was a pretty good one.
And I was off the top. I didn't even write it down. It was just right off the top.
Smooth.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, it's an honor to be here, brother James, and it's it's always, first off, let me start off the right way. In the most holy name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, and in the name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and in the name of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, I just want to greet everybody with the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
And that just simply means peace be upon you, and that's how the righteous would always greet each other.
Sir.
We never said what's up. We never said what's up, dog, or any of that. We would always greet each other with peace.
Absolutely.
And they say in the last days, people would be finding peace, but it would be very difficult to find.
Absolutely.
So if we get a chance to get some peace in this hour, man, we thank Allah for all that. Because
Yes,
that's
sir.
very, very, very the most important thing actually right now. So, yes, sir. So,
Yes,
man,
sir.
but sorry about the restart. But, yeah, I just wanted to just say thank you. It's an honor to be amongst you brothers, man.
Oh, yeah.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, anytime you see a Black man, you see God.
Sir.
So I love my brothers. I respect their Godheadliness and who they are and we are striving to be in this world. This is a very difficult world to live in, having dark skin.
Yes.
So, we persevere and we always overcome and ultimately we excel, because it's just, we excel at it because just the odds that are against us to excel, we still manage to do it.
Right.
So, we thank God for all of that.
There we go. There it is. My next guest is a man that I have known for well over 30 years. We played basketball. I believe it was the Net Poppers.
Net Poppers.
Man.
Desert West. If you know anything about Phoenix, Arizona, you know anything about 67th and Encano Boulevard, you would know that's where we used to get down. This man has also taken his talents to the professional level via football. He's played several years in the NFL. My man started off with Arizona at the University of Arizona. Wildcats. He has played with the Houston Texans, Pittsburgh Steelers, Green Bay Packers, Tennessee Titans, and then took his talents to Canada with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and then to the UFL at this time with the Las Vegas Locomotives, and then with the Arena Football, Dallas Desperados, Arizona Rattlers, and Milwaukee Mustangs, and the Philadelphia Soul.
Wow.
You would think that someone that has moved around that much wasn't an asset, but this man definitely was, and he understood the business. So that's why he was given the opportunities and the amount of opportunities that he was given. Proud product of Houston, Texas. This man is an absolute animal when it comes to the wide receiver position, and he's allowed his physical to now transfer to his mental and spiritual in coaching with both Thurmanetics, Therm U, a football program, and now he is one of the coaches at NFL Yet, alongside of the great Mo Streety, my main man, Andrae Thurman.
Much honor. Yeah. Much honor, man.
Yes, sir.
That's all high level.
I don't know what else to say behind that.
That's high level right there. That's high level, man.
You good.
Well, I'm a PK, so I've always watched introductions. That's one of the biggest things.
Cool, man. I appreciate that, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Appreciate that, man. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So we're happy to have both of you brothers here. Running the ones and twos, my main man Mike. Proud to be here, Purple Monkey Studios. And my co-host who is off camera. I've known him all his life. Very thankful to have him here to see his dad do his thing, my man TJ, my son, Trent James Joseph Harris, man. Right. How you doing today, sir?
Good.
He's a man of few words. So, so we're just thankful, man. We got all this black power, this black energy in this room. So we want to go ahead and get started. And Brother Muhammad, we want to just tell us a little bit about yourself, your upbringing, everything prior to the Nation of Islam, and then we'll jump into a little bit of that.
Okay. Yeah, so I grew up Buffalo, New York. I used to hoop with Craig Robinson.
Wow.
Used to hoop with Christian Leitner.
Okay.
Them was all in my hood, So, we had some incredible guys come out of there, just, and, the great Bob Lanier. My mother went to high school with Bob Lanier at Bennett High School. And just grew up around there. And then, you fast forward. I had a great upbringing, a lot of real dudes back then. You know what I mean? Like dudes on the block that was, they did their thing, and whatever that looked like, they were still solid men. Right. So I didn't grow up around no suckers, man. I didn't have that at all. My sister was strong. She used to get in fights with dudes. She older, I call her Baby D.
Wow.
She was 16. She was 6'2". So, she just didn't take no stuff, man. And, just a very good big sister to have. You know what I'm saying? Right. So fast forward through that. I didn't play, man. It's crazy because me coming up, and I'm trying to roll through it quickly as I can, but me coming up, I didn't play youth football.
Okay.
I was a street legend. I could play receiver. I was playing tight end and all that. So, there was a side of me that had an athletic side. I would go in at the hoop court at the park, man. We would hoop 5, 6, 7 games. I'd be over there hooping for 5 hours or so. So that was my upbringing. Then went to a school called Turner Carroll. Turner Carroll was my first. It was pretty much a black black Catholic school. Pardon me. And then I transferred out of there after year 2, and then went to a private collegiate prep school. It's called St. Joseph's Collegiate Prep. Okay. So I was in Kenmore, and then after that, got a scholarship. Ironically, I'm one of the few that got 2 scholarships, I think. So when I was coming out of high school, I didn't really have my grades was kind of shaky, right? It was between University of Tennessee and Memphis State. Yeah, at the time it was called Memphis State.
Yeah. Penny Hardaway.
It was obviously before him, but yeah. So he was so during that time, so Tennessee didn't decide to take me. Didn't want to go to Memphis State. My boy called me, yo, Big E, man, you better than Memphis State. Come out here to Pasadena. So you fast forward, I went to Pasadena City College. So went there, did my 2 years, did my thing. Coach Snyder was coming in with his group. I was under that first year, Coach Snyder at Arizona State. So that was my quick sojourn on how I got there.
Big Bruce.
As far as, right? And then during that time, leading up to, me being at ASU, a little brother by the name of Ashad Muhammad, real dark-skinned brother. He was at A5A. Okay. And approached me one day during that time, man, with the final call, and was extremely insistent. Extremely insistent. So it makes me look back and really understand how Allah chose me directly because he's in the black fraternity. I was the only one that actually plucked out of there to join the nation. You know what I'm saying? Because in my thought, I think about it now. I'm like, damn, well, you was around all these black men, and ain't none of them come in, so that was my introduction, man. I would study, not to go too far into it as you mentioned, but no, I would study Brother James and Brother Dre for 4.5 hours in my room in my dorm, and I got football practice the next morning. So ultimately, I really wasn't prepared for the college life, and then it was something because I had realized that like last week something I was reading Dre that we conversed about, Brother James, like I wasn't prepared for that. See, a lot of kids, they think they want that, but they never really get prepared for it. So looking back at it, I really wasn't prepared, but I was prepared for something else.
Okay.
Something else that had a much higher spiritual calling because I had I had always believed, man, I wanted to go to the NFL and or be a millionaire when before I was 28. That was my two things,
Right.
But it was just I really believe, looking back at it, it was a culmination of reasons, of course, why I didn't, have the opportunity or go down that road. But my calling, I see how much more influential my calling has been in the people that I've been able to influence because of, my life experiences, if all that makes sense.
Right. So at ASU, and you were studying for the Nation of Islam at that time while you were in school?
Yes. Yeah.
So,
my junior year, he approached me because he just gave me like one time on campus. I think
Right.
they was on campus protesting or something like that, but he gave me a Final Call newspaper.
Final Call.
And then when I got it, it had just it settled on me a different kind of way because I never really believed, and I think if a lot of us is real honest with ourselves, like we go to church as kids, like we really don't want to be there, we really don't know what's going on, we just been thrusted into that environment by our parents.
Right.
But ultimately, like, it was just a thing to where I just grabbed hold of it, Brother James and Thurman, and it was really something for me at that time because, I was a different type of dude, coming in, and then when people watched the transition, like for real, I was rolling around. I remember this white girl, Jane, she was like, "You got everybody in the dorm scared of you." Because I was riding around with, I went through the real militant stage.
Right.
I had red, black, and green beads on me, and I had a bandana on, sunglasses, and at the time I'm 340 pounds.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that transition, man, was it was a very for the lack of better terms, I really don't like it, but a very militant side.
Right.
Before I had actually just kind of because you kind of teeter off away from if you have them that deep seated in you, like at a certain point that's going to temper out.
Right.
And it tempered out at the right time because I'm quite sure I've alienated a lot of people, but people that know my core, regardless of what it is, black, white, red, yellow, or brown, Jew or Gentile, whatever it may be, people that understand me understand my core is really love.
Right.
And it's really compassion and it's really understanding.
And if there's anyone that you have alienated, it's people that don't stand for much.
Correct.
Because if they don't understand what you stand for, then they'll tend to just think that you're just overwhelming them with information that anybody can be accessible to.
And that's the black experience. That's been our experience, though. Whenever we feel like that, as black men, that's been our experience. It's like, we get, talked bad to or somebody else wants to dictate how we should say or think because that's how y'all say it, but we have a completely different experience.
Right.
And that's just to be respected,
Right. So you left ASU and graduate or just exited?
No, I finished I went back. I went back to try to finish. I didn't finish my courses, but I think I got 12 units to finish. I need to go do it,
Okay.
before my
Let's get
so
it.
I need to go do it. But I finished out my senior year, Brother James.
Mm-hmm. What year was this?
90. So Jake came in. He was a freshman when I was a senior. So
Okay.
I always get confused whether it was 92 or 93.
93,
It was
yeah.
my
With D.
senior
Rogers?
season.
Did you play with D. Rogers?
No, he was after.
He was after you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Juan Roque, and Mario Bates,
Kevin
Shante
Mastowski.
Carver. No, sir.
Okay.
No,
Ron
I played
Sowers?
with.
You
I
played
played
with Ron Sowers?
No, I
You know
played
who
with
that is?
Gulliford. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ron, good man. I played with Eric Gulliford.
Okay.
Yup. Shante Carver.
Wow.
Man. So some phenomenal players, man. Brian Hooks, man. It was a lot of good dudes, man. My squad.
Snyder then came to a Westview basketball game trying to get me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught the last end of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Should have went there, man. Went to U of A instead. I'm a big ASU fan, so but he knows that we always mess around. So you left ASU, and then from that point on, what did you do?
Yeah, man. I got into, when I left, I actually got into doing sports representation. Me and Brother Dre talked about it a little earlier. When I finished trying out and all that kind of stuff, because I had one of my partners from Pasadena. He had actually began to work with a firm. It's called, and he's been very successful since then. But it's called Mouthpiece Sports. Okay. So Mouthpiece Sports was in Malibu, man. Our first year, I think the second or third year, had a lot of success. Like, with him, he signed Chuck Levy, Darnay Scott. I think Darnay was in the same league that you was. A guy I played high school football with at St. Joe's, Vaughn Parker, who ended up playing 11 years with the Chargers. Who else? Signed Keyshawn initially. It was a lot of success early. Then when he went with a guy, you remember Doc Daniels, Brother Dre? Mm-hmm. So, had a lot of success with that. And then, so I did that for, I think, 2.5 years, Brother James, as what they call a runner. Okay. And then I was during that time as well. So I was down there trying to recruit, Warren Sapp, J.J. Stokes was at UCLA. Wow. Greg Newsom was here. And there was a couple other Miami players. I was in and out of Florida probably twice a month. Just recruiting them. And, I can say it now, it's crazy, but, I was sending Warren Sapp money. Right. And a gang of Carl Kanai.
Carl Kanai.
It was out back then, but, that was the life of that, and, it was a great thing to do, and it gave me some great experiences and understanding about the business of sports, and what that looked like. And then, kind of did some things right around there, and so life is, man. And I think I got into coaching a little bit after that. I got, once I came back here. Let me rewind. Pardon me. Let me rewind. I don't know if you had known James, but I was Michael Jackson's bodyguard.
Okay.
Did you know that or no?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I was with him when he passed.
Oh, wow.
In the house, et cetera. But, that bodyguard thing, I've been in some amazing, just at some amazing parties and events, and been around. I had an opportunity to be around some very influential people in the industry, and around some incredible stars, and I've lived that life, man. I really have. I could probably, I can probably write a book on my life, and I've done a lot in my lifetime, and probably people be able to do it too.
Absolutely.
And I say that with humility. I thank Allah for every experience, and everybody that has helped me get to those experiences.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen a lot.
Yeah, man.
All the Jacksons.
Kanye West.
All the Jacksons at any time, or just Michael?
No, just Michael. We were preparing for the tour.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it tour.
So, oh wow.
How many bodyguards did he have?
So it was 5 of us that would always drive with him wherever we would go. If we would go to rehearsals and stuff like that. It was, and then it was maybe 4 or 5 other brothers. Okay. That was at the house.
Okay.
On Carrollwood.
Were you there during his court appearances?
No. Okay. I had just came in, getting prepared for the tour. So that was a lot of the other brothers, from Mosque 27 and 50, Compton Mosque 54.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't know that? Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's shift. Mr. Thurman, tell us about some of your upbringings and what got you to where you are right now.
A lot of it, just growing up, man, I was born in Houston. My mom and dad ended up getting divorced when I was young, 3 years old, and I stayed out in Houston for quite some time. Got into a couple little scrap yards and some couple little situations that I probably shouldn't have been in at that 10, 11-year-old age, where it was like mom had to make a decision. I need you to be around some type of power, And so my dad was here in Phoenix.
So how did your father end up in Houston? I mean, how did your father come from Houston and end up in Phoenix?
I think it was my mom. I mean, just the whole situation of having a divorce weighed in, and I think he wanted to kind of start fresh, maybe brand new. He was an engineer at the time, so his job did transfer from Texas to Phoenix, and he had maybe one family member that was out here, so he came out here one time, saw it, loved it. My Uncle James came out here, and he loved it, and moved right there on 43rd Avenue and Camelback over there. So
wow. Good.
We went right to the townies from Maryvale, and we stuck there. And obviously, as he got older, panned out, he kind of moved to upbringing in Garden Lakes. And so, that was the start of it, man. I was always in the west side of Phoenix area. Just seeing all that kind of stuff, man, that's really the bottom line of that.
What high school did you go to, Dre?
I went to Westview.
Oh, okay.
I went to Westview High School. I tried to transfer my senior year to Desert Vista because Bobby and I went to school together.
Bobby Wade,
Yeah, Bobby Wade and I went to school together, man, and I wanted to go transfer to Desert Vista, but my coach, Coach Martinez, shout out to Coach, he was like, man, Dre, you're not leaving here.
We need you.
Yeah, we're not leaving here.
We need you. And for good reason.
Right.
Just a little Snapple fact in there. Did some research, and my man Andrae Thurman is via AZ Central one of the top 10 wide receivers that have actually touched this high school football thing, man. Top 10 high school football wide receivers.
I'm telling you, I still got a Richard Ober. I got a bone to pick with you because Richard Ober made the top 10 list. I thought my good brother Sean McDonald should have been in that top 10 list. So we got a bone to pick with him. But
right.
A lot of the guys, I think Christian Kirk was one. I think it went on down. I think Mark Andrews is also in there. But a lot of the guys, man, they come from the 50s and 60s. And I'm telling Ober, I was like, man, these receivers ain't better than me, man.
Right.
But it's honorable. I think, being at 10 now, you never know. In 10, 15 years, I'll probably be at 30. The way these receivers are going nowadays, man, these receivers are getting better and bigger and stronger nowadays. But it's humbling that he would think of me in a sense where it's the top 10 receivers of all time at Arizona. I think that's a very, very big deal, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and definitely during that time, for all of our viewers, when you think of a lot of places, high school sports, initially you're going to think, the South, Texas, California. Arizona has had some primo talent, but just exposure. And I remember we both are graduates of class of 99. So that was a huge turn for football in general. I think NFL Network didn't even hit until like 2001. So I remember how we would get ready for football was like watching NFL films. Yeah. Come on around Tuesday, Thursday, around 3 p.m. And that was what I had to work out, do my push-ups too, throw the ball and catch it on the bed and all that stuff. That was our workout material. And then all of a sudden, people like my son, if NFL Network, you have the National Football High School Network, you have all these things to look at and things to see. So our inspiration was very, very small. I think all we had was air it out. There weren't no sevens tournaments at that time.
I did 2 7-on-7s my whole high school, career. And one was at ASU, one was at U of A.
I remember that.
There was no high school 7-on-7s, nothing like that. I was actually playing basketball, lifting weights. I play basketball. So,
right.
So in regard to that too, Dre, James, can you talk about even with that, is it a situation where now, because I'm quite sure you would spend a lot of, in the off season just throwing with your QB.
That's it.
And that's really what it was.
I think that's more important. I think it's more of a
relationship building.
More relationship, but it's also it's game like.
Right.
7-on-7 is everybody's passing the ball. So Your linebackers aren't taking their first step downhill. They're running out here and running out there, and that kind of stuff. And I mean, I think it's good for competition. I think it helps skill players. I mean, as far as receivers and corners kind of stay in shape, that kind of stuff. But I mean, I would maybe do one or two, maybe 2 or 3, but I wouldn't be doing them every week like how people are doing them, man.
It's a lot's been monetized now. You know, it's like what you were just talking about, Brother James. Like, they're building up this infrastructure around this. It's a lot of money involved. You know what I'm saying?
It absolutely
is. And that's what's changed. So that's what's changed so much, Dre. Right?
Even I heard this, and this is funny, not funny, but sad almost. I heard a parent. They wanted their kid to be a 4-star rating or a 5-star rating. So they give out $10,000 to this magazine company to get a 4-star or a 5-star rating.
Right.
That is crazy. Yeah. And a lot of people don't realize that. I know you touched on this before. 707, man. You're not really getting a scholarship from it. And people always think that's the time to work. I'm gonna tell you, the time to work is on Friday night when you playing in the football game. You want a scholarship? Play Friday nights very well.
Yeah.
Play Friday night very well. Perform.
Right. Yep.
I mean, and that's that. It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
And we'll jump into that because there's a lot of politics conversation I want to have with you guys. It's really big. But as far as you, high school, Westview, graduated, U of A.
Man, I was at U of A. I came in, I redshirted, my freshman year. And then I ended up playing, a few years. I'm not gonna lie to you, Marv. I got kind of big headed. What to say is my junior year, I had a good junior year. I had 61 catches, had 980 yards receiving. My other receiver on the other side was B. Wade. He was a senior. He didn't redshirt at the time. He was leaving. My quarterback was leaving.
Who's your quarterback?
Jason Johnson was my quarterback at the time.
Okay.
And Jason Johnson was leaving.
Okay.
So I'm like, man, let me see where I'm at in that draft. So I put my name in the draft, and they said second day. At that time, it was only one day and the second day. I think the first day was
NFL
first
draft.
through 3,
Okay.
and then 4 through 7, I think, was the second round. So they put my name in. They said I was second day guy. I started going to school. I'm telling you, during the whole football season, I think after game 4, I probably had like 300-400 yards. Man, I was like, I'm going pro. I already made up my mind I'm going pro.
Right.
As a junior. So I kind of stopped going to school. I'm just training for football and, kind of that deal. When they told me I was going to be a second day guy, I got back into, I was like, damn, I'm coming back. And, my grade level had just dropped. My senior year, I was ruled academically ineligible. You have to have a 2.0. Okay. And so at this time I had an agent. Kenny Zuckerman, Priority Sports, still my agent to this day. But he talked about the options that I have. And the options were either Canada or supplemental draft or transfer into another school. And I said, I could transfer to another school? He said, well, he gave me 3 options. He said, well, these 3 options aren't starting till, September, I think it was, their first game. So you have a chance to take a summer school class. And I said, what schools? He said, I got Southern Oregon. I got
D2.
Nazarene, I think it was, in Oklahoma or something like that.
3.
NAIA,
okay.
Division 3 and whatnot. So, man, I said Oregon, man. I said Oregon. I said, I rock with Oregon, Southern Oregon. So, man, it was heartbreaking, man, to leave the class that I came up with, man, and Pac-10, and just having the guys that were seniors coming up with me who we rocked for 4 years together. You go through all that type of stuff, and not to be with them my senior year. A lot of guys will tell me to this day still, "Hey, you let us down, Dre. Let us down." I think Arizona went, I want to say 3-8 that year. It was a tough year, man, and I was preseason first team All Pac-10. I was honorable mention my junior year, and I was behind Mike. There was Mike Williams, there was Reggie Williams, and Bobby Wade, I think, were first team. And then Sean McDonald was first team. I mean, we were so loaded. Kerry Cobra, Sammy Parker. I think it was to run it back the year that I left, I think there was 32 or 38 receivers that were drafted that year. And I think that still holds one of the records still now. And that was before. Now they're just slinging the ball all the time. Right. I went to Southern Oregon, man. It was a good experience for me, man. I'm telling you, it was almost like, kind of reminded me like a high school JUCO type situation.
Now, where's Southern Oregon at?
It's in Ashland, Oregon.
Ashland, Oregon.
It's maybe 30, 45 miles off the coast of California, Northern California. It's very, man, it's very scenic, man. You see more deers than almost people sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So it was real scenic. It was real cool. A little different. I was, one of the three brothers that was there. And they embraced me, man. It was cool. It wasn't all the police officers driving us, man. We had the bus from Southern Oregon all the way to San Diego, USD. Man. I think it took like 12, 14 hours. I said, man, what y'all boys do, man, for 14 hours on the bus? Man. Boys just play cards, they chew, that type deal. I was like, man, that for 14 hours? And at the time, Jim Harbaugh was the head coach at the University of San Diego. And I had put like 11 for like 211 on them boys. We lost the game by 7 points, and they were D2. Kind of reestablished, I think, myself into the game a little bit.
Right.
I was fortunate to, get invited to the Hula Bowl, played in the Hula Bowl, played in the Blue-Gray game, got invited to the Combine. And, I made it a different avenue. But I was fortunate, man. I really was blessed that I didn't have any major injuries, stuff like that. So, yeah, that was the whole college experience for me.
And then I know that there was certain adversity that set in, moving forward with the draft itself.
The draft, I didn't get drafted. I remember just being at home all day, getting calls. Once the 7th round kind of kicked in, I got a couple calls. Hey, we're thinking about drafting you and 3 other guys, and da-da-da-da, and da-da-da-da. It never happened. So I was a priority free agent. I went where the money was at, basically. So New York was like, here's 15, 18, I think it was. Houston was like 12, and then I think Green Bay was like 7. So of course, you just go where the money is at. So I went to New York. I was in East Rutherford, New York, man. So New York was a whole trip because it was the first time I ever went there. Ever.
Okay.
It's a whole different life, huh?
It's a whole different life, you know what I'm saying? And me and my buddy, I remember my buddy Chris Davis, man, shout out to him, he went to Southern. He's my roommate. He's from New Orleans, and he goes, man, you ever been to New York downtown? Because they had us in, East Rutherford, but it's not New York, right? So I was like, man, let's go down here, man. Let's go down here. It's Manhattan, yeah. Let's go Times Square. Let's go, man. So I think we just rode a bus, man, and we just, went down to New York, man. It was great, man, but I didn't get much reps. I think maybe 1 or 2 a day, ended up getting cut, and then got picked up in Houston training camp. Did all right in preseason. I was second leading receiver behind Andre Johnson in preseason. They ended up cutting me, though, politics, I think. And then I was Green Bay from there. Practice squad for a little bit, and then somebody got hurt, and there you go. My turn.
That point on, we talk a little bit about adversity. So I'm going to ask you, Brother Muhammad, leaving Arizona State and finding yourself at a crossroads, because you did play football. What position did you play again?
Offensive tackle.
Offensive tackle. What was your political background there? Did you have thought? You did say you had thoughts of going to the league. What happened right after ASU in regards to football? Did you?
Nothing much really. I just did there was like a couple camps where some scouts was going to be at. I tried out. Mm-hmm. I just realized, at a certain point, my college career wasn't as successful as I needed to be, and I dealt with an injury as well. So I was like, hey man, it's okay when you. I think it's cool to know when it's a wrap.
It's all good.
That just wasn't in the cards for me, as I mentioned earlier, like I didn't know what it takes. You know, a guy like Andrae, like you have to be born with a high level of twitch, man. You know, you got to. I think to some degree you have to be born with that, and as well as it's a big genetic pool that you have to. Pardon me, I should say it's a small genetic pool that you got to fit into to become a high level athlete to play at that level. Because even though I was always a good athlete. You know, I could do, man, to this day, you know, I put on the Facebook the other day, like, you know, I could roller skate. You know, I could get on there, I could groove, I could dance, I could hoop, I could swim, I could used to be able to dive real good off the boards. I had all that dexterity and all that. But again, it just comes down to also, you know, when you don't realize what it takes to get there, that has to be a very innate thing, or you have to be very gifted, and so that's something that has to be given to you, whether it's a trait or some real life game, James. You understand? Because it's not a lightweight thing, man. You know, when I listen to all his accolades, I'm like, bruh, like that's like when because we deal and we talk to parents, and that's part of what Dre and I do right now, and I think it's a very important part of our lives. You know, because we sincerely want to see the next generation of kids out of this town in particular. We products are here, man.
I don't have a son.
Right. Facts. Me either.
So when I tell cats, what you think I'm coaching for?
Right.
I'm coaching for.
Dre, I ain't never had a dog in the fight.
For clout?
Right. Never had a dog. We ain't had no dog in the fight.
And I always say this. Parents, stop thinking your son's going to go to the NFL. The goal should be college.
Free education.
Free education.
Right.
That's
Period.
the goal. That was always my goal.
Right.
I didn't think about the NFL probably till like my sophomore, maybe junior year. When I had a couple seniors ahead of me, like, man, you made it to the NFL?
Man.
Maybe I can.
Bruh.
Maybe I can. But I never was like, I'm going pro. I always wanted to be like a Peter Ward. I wanted to play like college football, you know?
Yeah. You got to think about this. So you got a 1% of a 1%. Like he's a 1% of the 1%.
Piece of a penny. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like I wrote the other night, like everything has to line up.
Right.
Genetically, work ethic, nutrition, rest, his how ambitious and what kind of motor he has. Mm-hmm. All this stuff has to add up. And on top of it, as a parent, you have to be able to really be willing to produce that in the form of your resources and time.
Right.
You got to be able to produce that. So, okay, you see that potential in your son? Hey, man, you was telling me about the things that you do, Brother James. Brother, you got to find time to fit his training in.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that he's eating right. You got to make sure that phone is off.
Yeah.
You understand? See, all that has to line up.
The temptations.
All the temptations, the girls, the expectations.
The drugs, all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm around, you know, Philip Page and Smooth and my boys, right?
Yes, sir.
And you don't think there was times where, Dre, man, we're going to do 6 hours, man. We're going to blow something. We're going to drink something before practice, man.
Man, all that.
Sure, Dre, man.
Separate.
After a point, they stopped asking me. They already knew.
Right.
Yeah.
Better catch him on the weekends. Y'all want to kick it with him, I'll go to your keg party, whatever. But weekend stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't during the week.
Laser focused.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. It's like, you know, what he made a decision. It's like Dre made a decision to say no. I'm not doing that. You know, so many of these kids nowadays, they so influenced, and they're not influencers,
not leaders,
you know,
followers,
because they just feel like they gotta just be in the in crowd with a lot of the stupidity that's going on, and particularly our young boys, man, we so distracted. You know, we gotta, as fathers, man, as black men that have an opportunity, man, to when we around. Man, we got to quit being afraid of these young boys, man, and say, man, hey, little youngster, let me give you some game real fast, man.
Real quick.
Just real quick. It's okay. They going to come and just accept that game. If, you know, they going to come and take it. Yes, sir. They'll tell you that, man. They can be a hardcore kid, you know, but we just got to love our people more than they hate themselves, man.
You brought up a good point to me is when you were talking about in Buffalo, how you didn't grow up with no suckers. And when I was in Houston, I was young, even here, playing ball at Desert West, stuff like that. It'd be a lot of OGs at Desert West.
Yeah.
But
shout out Coach Nate, Coach Otis.
but they chop it up with you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And we
that
didn't
ride home will be
and we
serious.
didn't see. Now these young cats are crazy because they feel like your money or your assets or your followers, whatever the case may be, is what you're doing. But
Man.
Game is game.
Right.
They whole lives is dictated by this now, man.
Game is game. It's knowledge, right? And
Real
so
talk.
one of my best advice I ever heard from my boy El Rel, he said that he was talking to, somebody, we were in Tucson, he was talking to a man that didn't have much, right? So he was like, somebody had said something outside of what he said, and I was with him. And they was like, man, he talking to him, man, he's a bum, da-da-da-da. And he said, man, maybe he'll tell me how not to be a bum.
Game. We can learn something from anybody. See that arrogance?
Is it arrogance?
That's been so much of that has been put into us, man, by these people, man. And it's really, brother, humility is such a phenomenal thing, bro. There's a lot of strength in humility.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ton of
It's
it,
a lot,
man.
brother. I've learned that. Dre, I've learned that. James, brother, I learned that, man, because every time, brother, there ain't never been a time where I've been around all these ghettos, man, talking to gangbangers and, just in the trenches, man, for a long time, enough to know, man, like these youngsters, man, they just need to be loved.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to put a pause right there. I'm actually going to have my co-host, I want you to ask question number 3. Have him come on out in just a quick second. And go ahead and ask that question now. Both of you guys.
What has adversity allowed you to see as you grown in this world?
A little bit louder. One more time.
What has adversity allowed you to see as you grown in this world?
Adversity. Kind of speaking in regards to, it's almost like you answered it before he asked it. But I did want you to speak to some of that adversity. I think you spoke a little bit as far as the social media body of work outweighing what you've actually done in this world. And how do you use your story and what you've been through to influence these young kids?
You wanna go, Dre, or what you doing?
Be quick. I just think adversity is just gonna be part of life. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think you can ever shy away from it, right? I think it's that whole thing of, 90% of life is going through, or 10% of life is what you go through. 90% is how you handle it. I think that's big. I think we try to set ourselves to try to get to a point where, whether it's family or loved ones or whatever it is, maybe a work, whatever it is, that it does give us peace. As I've gotten older, I'm 44 now, but peace to me is everything. You know what I'm saying? And I won't let anybody dictate my peace. You know what I'm saying? I feel comfortable with what I know.
Yeah.
I say what I say. But at this point, I remember last time I think that even me at 35, when you came to talk to, just trying to please everybody, right?
Man.
I had Thurman for 4 years, man. If it wasn't well, dang, Dre, you don't got enough money to pay for John to play? Well, I'm going to take him over here to the Longhorn. They got money. Man,
Man.
the audacity. And I'm like, man, I just paid for, 15.
Right.
Light. I'm not asking y'all for nothing. You just going to take him to a worse coach, in my opinion. Or not, I shouldn't say worse. Maybe not a non-experienced coach over me just because of money. And then in the junior year, senior year, Dre, will you coach him again?
Right.
I had him since 7th grade or 8th grade. Let me flow. Let him flow.
Mhm.
Let him flow.
Yeah, man.
Flow, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, adversity is very, like you said, Dre, in these words, in a sense that it's going to be, adversity is cyclical. The Holy Quran says that the believers will be tried severely once or twice a year. So, if that's the case, it's just, it's all about, like Dre said, it's all about how you handle and deal with things. And, it's a very spiritual realm that you have to get to inside of that adversity. It's some things that I'm dealing with personally now that I've got to, even though the adversity is there, I still have to get back to and understand that, and I'm quite sure you share this, Dre, like I have an innate feeling or thoughts that people are counting on me that I don't even know that are relying on me and counting on me to win. You understand? So I accept, and that was just given to me, Allah or the spirit world, whatever has put that on me. So, maybe my presence, my presentation is wrapped up into that, and being able to present and accept that responsibility, because I wear that responsibility. Like there's no selfishness at all in me, like I never had that. But when I came to and started to really study Islam, I really understood when you go look at the life of the Holy Prophet. I encourage everybody to read the life of Prophet Muhammad. He's a phenomenal. He was during that time. Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, 1400 years ago, was an extremely beautiful man. When you go looking and read about his characteristics and the story and what type of human individual he was, it was just phenomenal. And it gives more of an in-depth, more particular story, a little bit more granular than the Bible gives of Jesus. But the stories are very, very relevant in the same thing. So, but not to get too far gone, Brother James, to answer your question, nephew, to answer your question, it's like adversity is, it's important that you go through it. It helps. It's making you become a God, man.
It builds you.
You have to. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, the entire universe is 76 quintillion miles. It was shaped and formed over trillions of years, 60-something trillions of years. So if that's the case, you're talking about that's a long time. We make God out to be a spook, but God is a real man. That's why we're made in his image and his likeness. So it took all those years. He didn't obviously start off perfect. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said he pulled himself out of triple darkness in 10,000 pieces in the universe. You see? So if you got to pull yourself, the only equivalent of triple darkness is the womb of a woman, those 3 stages of 3. You see? So when you
I remember that.
Listen, Rakim, man, listen, man. I didn't know what I was listening to when I was listening to Rakim. I had no idea. He was feeding fish, which is my favorite dish. He was but I had no idea what I was listening to when but that was all that rap music was a very potent seed of that hip hop era, that really affected me deeply as well. So I believe when brother met me on campus, that seed was already planted in me to accept Islam, Yeah. And it's just hell of it. So that's
question.
What choices should I make as a young black man entering my teenage years?
I'm gonna try to be a little quicker with that this time, Dre. But let me just tell you, always act with a high degree of intelligence. I'm gonna try to give you all I can. Act with a high degree of intelligence. Always be humble. Always be respectful, and do the right thing every single solitary time, because you can do that. You have the power to do that. And if you do that and you set the standard for yourself to your level of self-respect, because people are only going to respect you to the level to that which you respect yourself. So make sure you operate. That's a high level. And I'm putting that on you because we can do it. It's just a matter of what we make important to us and what we speak. When we speak life into our children, it's a matter of what we make important for them. We have to make those things important for him. And then it's not a whole to where it's not even, it's just an expectation. Them people over there that's living in the UK, guess what? Like they've been riding in Bentleys and everything their whole entire lives, generationally. See, that's a precedent set into them. It's just what it is.
They don't know anything else.
That's all that they know. See, things that we consider luxury, that's just everyday things to them. You see? So that's what I really advise you to do, nephew, and to just, with all that said, just let it become a part of your life so there's no pressure. Because if you look at it, because of all those things I ran down, that could be a lot of pressure. But when you just allow it to just settle in on who you are and you be who you are through those things, and that's it, and you accept nothing else, well, that's just the standard.
I think you hit it on the nose right there, nephew. Just talking about that, just highly of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Think highly of yourself, man. You're a young king. You know what I mean? And regardless of who doesn't think that, you always think that. Self-confidence, I think, is a big deal. Self-confidence, and that's something that you can work on. That's something you can control. But I think he hit it everything on the nose, man. I think you did a great job explaining it to you. You kind of took everything that well spoken, man. Well said. Well said.
Yeah, I'll just add one more little small thing to it, just because Dre says something, nephew. He said, "Man, you're a young king," but I tell you this, nephew, understand is, don't allow anybody, man. I don't like the term nigga. I think because that's speaking death into another man, because the root word of that word, it comes from necro, which is the study of the dead. Necrology is the study of the dead. So I'm literally calling you. See, when I use that language, then I'm calling you as another black man. I'm speaking death into you subconsciously, because that's the part of the name that they gave us. See, we just act like we put a Nigga on there. That don't make no difference. We still call each other. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just what that is, man. Just when just understand that term has a lot. You refer to your brother, you refer to another black man as brother, and you love him like you love yourself, man. And I think that's gonna go a really, really a far way, man, in this life for you. So I could feel your strength and your energy. You're gonna be a god, man. Just always operate like that.
It's a personal. I guess my response to you would watch the people that are here for you. Watch the people that say that I love you. Watch the people that call you nephew. Now you've known Dre for a little bit. He knew you a long time ago, and then you met Uncle. I'll say Uncle Muhammad today. You met Mike. We all have experiences that I believe that you can definitely take advantage of knowing. Unfortunately, a lot of men your age, fathers have given up, and they might be there out of spite in a competition with the mother. I really don't. I take it as a blessing to have you in my life, and I also take the blessing the same way I've had my father in mine. So, and my father with him and his father in his. So it's this. It's beautiful. That's one of the reasons I brought you here. I definitely wanted you to see what love looks like. We can take you out on the football field, show you routes, and Mike can show you how to run that board, and Brother Eric can show you what maximum potential is about. But when we really sit down with you and talk to you, that's what love is. That's what hope is.
Yeah, man.
We all didn't even think about it. This is the title of this episode, and it's gonna sound funny. I call it Hope Dealers. We all got white tees on. Average time, cats on the block, they got white tees on. They dealing something totally different. They pushing poison. They're pushing things that you don't need. But we all, and there was no memo.
Man,
there was no chat for this.
No, that's fine.
We all got white tees on. So I'm calling this episode. I'm stamping it. Hope Dealers.
That's dope.
And I'm very thankful that you're here, man. I love you, and go ahead with the first question. We'll get back into our next topic.
What can I do to better my chances of playing college football?
Or just college sports in general. Now, we part of that is we were talking a little bit about the name, image, and likeness deal. We were talking a little bit about people's social media is kind of like their passport now.
Yes.
Way before people even, I've seen children getting opportunities to play in college sports around 4th or 5th grade. I think my first time thinking about hearing this was Blaze Ingram, Florida cat, little young cat. Called him Blaze. Had a little dreadlocks. Dad had dreads.
I remember seeing
bad
him.
on the football field. And I think now he's approaching either 8th grade, maybe freshman, sophomore year. But I remember back then, I think he had a football scholarship. Or he was offered one.
Yeah.
I think it was by South Florida or something like that. I need to look that up. But I'm pretty sure at such young age they were given those opportunities. And the whole transformation of sports from when you played to when we played, even when Mike played, because Mike played ball too, to now you, things have just changed.
Yeah.
So, and you too, on top of the many other topics that we are going to dive into in this podcast, we've all played football, and we've all been at that pinnacle.
Yes.
You know, past high school, a lot of the dreams and hopes kind of fall off the cliff. I was lucky enough to play a little bit of JUCO ball, and my opportunities kind of spawned off being around him. You know, he got me a tryout with the Locomotives, you know, some years back. And then a couple other friends of mine got me some tryouts, a couple of almost 10-day contracts playing arena ball. I teetered off in a semi-pro, did a little music, was never really decisive on which one, but I'm just happy to have had the opportunity where he could have brought me in when they went to go hang out. They never called me for that. They called me when it was time to work out. So they knew. And when they called me, they didn't call everybody else.
Right.
All the homies that was smoking and drinking and everything, the party lifestyle, whatever, I never got called for that. I was kind of mad at them for a little bit. But then the next day, Saturday morning or Sunday, whatever, when it's time to work out, you know, we got that. So I'm thankful for that. But back to the
we played quarterback against each other, right? We were both quarterbacks in the same game as each other before, you know, this is the 90s. That quarterbacks wasn't a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts.
And we played against each other, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's cool, man. I think that was cool, man.
Yeah,
that was a good experience. I still got the game on video too, by the way.
Oh yeah, I think I went down on that game.
I think he scored the first touchdown. We ran a muck on y'all after that.
You did.
We ate y'all up, man.
Personal success, I guess. What's your response in regards to what a young child would need to do to better their opportunities beyond the grades?
Yeah. Just you know, and you said it though. You know, that's the greatest opportunity. You give yourself the best opportunity when you got good, phenomenal grades. Yeah. So I'm glad you said that, Brother Jay. Like,
and you said that in your social media in regards to having a higher GPA.
Yes. Yeah. You know, particularly again. So look, you know, just to hash on that. If it's a situation where you spend thousands of dollars on cleats and registrations and all this stuff, and that's where the bulk of the investment's been, well, you should be smart enough and you have to be stern enough to insist academic excellence because of that investment. You've invested a lot as a parent. You know, that time and effort, like, man, it's been a lot of bread that went out, you know? I mean, you just said it today. You quite sure, you know, that's the homie, but man, at the end of the day, it's still all business. At the end of the day, it's still all business, man. Like, we have to be paid for who we are and what we do, and that's perfectly fine. But yeah, it just comes down to that, man. It's really living a, you know, to answer your question, Brother James, with that said, it's really being a self-starter as much as you possibly can. You know, if you can, you at an early age, you have to be a self-starter. And if they aren't that kind of, you know, they don't have that kind of engine just yet to where, you know, when they start to see the results of the work that they put in, you know. Yeah. But if he's not, then you know, as a parent, you just have to be insistent, and you really have to be the dad or the mom to protect your investment. You know, when it comes down to all that you've put into your son, like, you know. But again, best thing he can possibly do is be a self-starter.
I think that you just hit it on
Big
the
time.
nose, man. You know, I think you hit it on the nose. Other you talking about other than school, self-starter. I think good advice is whatever your practice schedule is. Let's say you have practice at 6 o'clock, right? Be there at 5:30. Be there at 5:45. Stay after 15, 20 more minutes. You know, those are things. Maybe not right now, but when you get to high school, I would start them now. But when you get to high school, that
matters.
That matters. You
Dre,
know,
because guess what, Dre, and you can talk to about it better. Like I'm sure when you because here's why it matters so much. Because I'm quite sure, and if you can speak to this, when you get to the NFL, this is again, so you got the highest level of college football, right? And they go to play at that next level, and it's all of those guys on one team. Think about that. That's insane. So when you get there and you got to go against a DB that's equally as talented as you, and
even bigger and stronger
bigger,
than you,
stronger, and
faster.
faster.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot that has to go into being able to beat him, right? I mean, if you can speak to that,
absolutely. You know, I think it's a lot of technique. What you talked about, because even just talking about just the receiver position that I had, you talked about it, man. I think I ran a 4.48 at the combine, right? And there's guys that run 4.2s from 4.3s, and you know, I think I weighed at 190 or something like that. It was 205 pounds, and these guys are extreme athletes. I was a good athlete, but I mean,
a different level, huh?
Man, I'm talking about extreme athletes, right? So, the knowledge, you know, the game, I started picking up knowledge. You know, I was seeing how Donald Driver was in the league for 8 or 9 years because he was my size. Man, this joker had 8, 9 years. He could do it. Tough and consistent. Okay.
Right.
Stay on the routine. So I think consistency is important too. Was finding the edge. I remember Kobe talked about it. He said, man, if I work out, you know, maybe an hour before we start working out, and I do that for, you know, 3 years in a row, I didn't worked out, you know, way longer than you have.
Right.
Way longer than y'all have.
Right.
You know, and that's why I say the extra 15 minutes in the morning, the extra 15 minutes after practice, that 30 minutes, that adds up now. You do it every day. Now it's an hour.
Right.
Now it's this. The extra work pans out.
I think I've seen a lot of athletes, when they talk about the leaders of their team or the leaders of their sport, the same quotable I always hear is first one in, last one out.
Man, so that's real.
Yeah.
I mean, that because, you know, you again, just looking at it, man, that's a lot of extra building. So Dre said, man, that 15 to 30 minutes, man, that could equate to 5 extra yards. See, at a certain point, all those minutes are going to equate to production.
Absolutely.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I think, like a lot of kids out here, they don't understand, man. Like I didn't have air conditioning in my house. We had fans in the window. Like, I understand it might have been Buffalo and this is, you know, different, but at the end of the day, I'm just talking about from the side of what they have access to now. Right. See, it's a lot of complacency that, and hold you real fast on the dress, but it's a lot of complacency that's being built into children because of the access that they have. Does that make sense, Brother James?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so we building it into them a little bit, man. Like, man, we didn't want to come in the house with, man, until the street lights came on, man.
Right.
See, and then it was a lot of great, that generation, man. It was some, you know, I look at some of the athletes, like I said, even with football and high school basketball in my area, man, growing up, it was a lot that came through there, man, because everybody was always at the park every day for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wanted to be in the house on video games.
That was my punishment.
Right.
Not going out of the house.
Yo, that was the punishment, man.
Can't leave. Yeah. Can't go outside. Man. Yeah. It's different. So that complacency.
You brought up something, and I said this in one of the posts that we had, and I said football is not a sensitive sport. And now it's because everybody has videos in the locker rooms, and you know, man, the stuff that you hear in the football college and the NFL before all this stuff, man. hard to repeat.
Yeah.
It's hard to repeat. So when I say it's not a sense to the sport, it's not. I'm talking about
It's real, huh?
take his knee out the game for $1,000.
Right.
Man.
Bounties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta different level.
It's a different level, huh?
Yeah.
Mindset, man, and I said it's not a sense of the sport. Even coaches, man, a head coach used to, you don't get this damn fucking shit together, you fucking like, man,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
And right
And
now,
what you talked about is the complacency with the athletes. A lot of that has to do with the parents.
Oh yeah.
that's why I said we was
Absolutely.
They
we building
babying
into
them.
them a
They
little bit.
babying them,
You know,
man.
just and it's a slow little like we don't understand that we doing it, you know, but it's just the complacency that's being put in them, man, because they again just even it's to some degree it's climactic right here. It's you know some I mean as far as the climate is concerned.
Sure.
So it's yeah I understand it's 110 and 1 hour, but man you got
We've
son,
been
we
playing.
trying to do
They ain't
this.
changed none since we
Yeah.
played.
Well, yeah,
Right.
y'all from here.
You know what I'm saying?
y'all
They didn't
from
change
here.
none. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? No, we got
Still wanna be
105.
outside.
It's good. What?
No, it's been 105 out here. Been 105.
Whatever you building. To me, this has been a cool summer. Compared to last
It
year.
really has
Yeah.
quite that's
Yeah.
real.
Um,
Ain't been bad.
but man, that complacency level, man, it's just parents, man. I get the training part of it,
Mhm.
but it's the mental part of it, right? You know what I'm saying? That dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That dog.
Mhm.
That dog, man. It's just that dog, man. And that's what I would say. That's huge, but I don't know if you can teach it. I think that you can help build it, maybe as a
Mhm.
coach. That's
I
why I'm
think-
going to get into coaching instead of training, because training is like I'm training for a couple hours, go home, and now they're going to wherever their coach is at, right? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to coach where it's just dogism. Y'all had it with Pirates, Desert Edge, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I did when we were in youth football. When I started Thurman U,
Mhm.
I said, who was the baddest 8th grade team in the Valley?
Mhm.
And it was the Pirates. Him and Ortiz kind of built it, and the other gentleman you said, they built it.
Right.
Man, our kids, when we prayed there, it was a little fear, but I said, man, let's go. You know, I'm taking my little Billy out.
But they did that work, they do that.
I was like, why? What you doing? What you doing? Stop. Let's go. Let's go. This is building toughness. And they let me have it. You know what I'm saying? They kind of figured it out, but, you know, mamas wasn't really going to practice when I was playing ball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
We had
now.
team mom. That's it.
Yeah, it's disgusting now.
Now it's all ladies everywhere.
been to,
Ladies everywhere.
Yeah, I've been to a couple of 7-on-7 tournaments, and
They showing out, huh?
And they just think they know it. They just think they know so much when it comes to this stuff, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. What's disgusting about what's disgusting about it, Jay?
well, I think it's been, in my true opinion, it's sexualized to a certain degree. There's almost a theme to what the teen moms will
man.
wear.
Wow.
The pan. I mean, you think it's bad enough? It's okay. Just being honest, we all men here. It's bad enough just having the girls on the other side of the field playing 7-on-7. You know, because then now it's a whole thing. But then as far as the actual moms and the parents and people are seeing that it's easier and more exposed for their child to get to that next level. So everybody's pushing that. They don't care how they're pushing it. They just
myself
push.
for that point. For
Man,
that person.
it's
Oh, yeah,
disgusting, man.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, man.
Because I done been out to some sevens events, right? Like, and I'm kind of seeing a few, but I didn't know it's like kind of this culture developing around it like that, James.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even realize. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, you ain't got the mom jeans and the big shirt with the visor on no more. I mean, these women look like they going to the club immediately after this tournament.
Easy.
You know, and it's not giving these kids. I mean, it's bad enough the kids, TJ, kids his age are they're tuned in to the YouTube. They have, and I don't want to seem like I'm an old hater.
Nah, yeah, that's
but
real
you
nice,
know,
man.
and I'm not even gonna name these guys' names, but there's certain people that are on YouTube right now that have made a platform for just 7-on-7.
Right.
You know, and some of them he's actually met. So I'm not gonna sit here and down them.
Right.
God bless them. They getting what they get, but it seemed like it's a fast track past the hard work, past you just being out there by yourself doing the work. And now it's like basketball now. Honestly,
One of the best advice I can get is what you doing when the coaches ain't looking.
right?
What you doing? You put some push-ups in there.
Yeah,
Just, you know, some core sit-ups or something.
stretching, getting that core right. Yeah,
Man.
yeah,
I'd rather parents just drop kids off and come back and get them 2 hours.
yeah.
Man.
You don't go and watch me practice. Don't watch me because when I get on that football field, no holds bars out there now.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy that I just had it came back like what you talking about, James, like, because I done been around the entertainment world, man, like, so, you know, for long years in sports and whatever, man. So, you know, when you talk about women like that, man, like, I've seen, like, the groupie scene. Dre, I'm sure you know you've seen it, like, it took me back, man. I'm like, man, the groupie scene was really something special, man. You know, like, to spend the time I spent in L.A., you know,
With the Jackson
bodyguard and, you know, and just, you know,
being around
that whole
yeah.
industry, like what I'm talking about professional sports and, you know, entertainment, you know, at the highest levels. I work for the Sacramento Kings doing security. You know, my resume is impeccable. Like, you know, I really got it started for a lot of these brothers around here with the security, you know, security stuff, man. And I was a big pioneer for that, you know, because I used to have we used to have a security company. It was called Asiatic Security. And I used to do shows, man. And, you know, shout out to brothers, man. And, you know, Big Five Click, you know, I did shows with them, man. And, you know, at the Electric Ballroom back in the day, man. And, you know, we had it so we used to keep it tight, man, because, you know, a lot of those facilities they just didn't want that quote unquote element, you know. And they, you know, shout out Kenny P, you know.
KP, yeah.
You know, these is legends, man.
Yeah.
These is, listen, brother. Listen, these is local legends that did it at a high level. Shout out Dave Chambers, man. Shout out Kev Reed. Shout out Wax.
T-Wax,
man, all these brothers, man. I done known these brothers, man.
Big
They
Wax
solid,
Felipe,
man.
yeah.
Brother, listen, these are solid legends around here. They deserve their flowers, bro.
Absolutely.
You know, they deserve their flowers, man. My little sis, CeCe Peniston.
Yeah.
You know, I love C, man. Like, these is my people, man. Like, I've been afforded, man, the opportunity to meet from some phenomenal, great people in this city, man. Just because I want to reflect that man. You know, I just want to reflect that man.
Around CeCe Peniston, no, that was about a year ago, maybe.
Yeah,
I remember where I caught her at, but I think we were at some type of function together.
Yeah.
CeCe's definitely, she's from
And shout out Felipe. Shout out Big Felipe Delgado.
Yeah, brother. You know, so, you know, it's this area, man, is you know, again, it's produced a lot of beautiful people, and you know, and I thank Allah, man, just for these experiences that I've been around all these guys. But you know, on that level I was speaking about, that whole world is a completely different world, man, when it comes to women. And you know, Andrae, you can speak to it, like, about access, you know, and what's in front of you and what you can have, man, just because of what you know. Like, that's why I don't judge any of the brothers. You know, I do not have an opinion about P. Diddy, because first off, that's my brother, and guess what? Because his demons will probably be my same demons if I had $500 million as well.
Those demons have been around.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm not whatever.
It's just all it was just visual.
Yeah.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
If I'm sure if you had cameras on you 24/7,
social media,
something you probably did wrong too.
That's why the hypocrisy is amazing, because the fact of the matter is, if our lives was on Front Street all the time, brother, I don't know how I'm gonna act when I got 500 million, James.
We all locked up.
Son,
Yeah.
like, we don't get into that,
yeah.
brother. when you go down that road, man, you're gonna get into that life, bro.
I was touching
I'm
six
telling you
figures,
what I'm
and it was
talking
like,
about.
ain't
Everywhere,
nobody
huh?
telling me nothing.
Right.
Six figures. I'm
Right.
talking about half of them.
Man,
I wasn't touching $1 million or 6 figures. I was just in an R&B group.
Right.
And I got to see.
You see what
I
I'm
got
saying?
to see enough.
Yeah, man. So these youngsters, man, they got a lot of different challenges coming up, man. Like these young basketball players, they, brother, IG models is 10, 15, 20 IG models. They know you going to the league. They in your inbox.
They own you.
Before you get there.
They own you.
They watching the draft. Yeah.
They own
Brother, you can't. A lot of women, brother, people don't understand to this level, but brother, they really study that stuff. They study it.
They scout.
Yeah,
Like agents.
brother,
Like
real.
Like college coaches.
Yeah.
Like NBA scouts. They scouting.
You hear that, TJ?
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's just we just have to continue to be, strong fathers, Brother James, and mentors to our children, Brother Dre, man, and them people that we come in contact with, because they need that strength. You see what I'm saying? Because they need that direction.
Yeah.
They were. It's required for us to get them direction, bro. They don't have no direction. They're, like I said, their whole lives is really dictated by this thing right here, bro.
Yeah.
We as adults, it's a difficult time putting it down, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Come on, man. These is young, impressionable minds, babe.
Yeah. So let's pivot into where you guys are now. Both of you have nonprofit organizations that feed into the youth. I'd like you to share with our people what those companies are and how they will benefit our kids moving into the next generation. We'll start with you, Brother Eric.
Okay. Yeah. So I've been doing Maximum Potential. We started off as just basically Maximum Potential offensive defensive line training. So that's what I would do. Brother Dre had me come out, man, a few times, work with his team, man, and I started doing that, man, when I was with, we had the West Valley Pirates at the time, so I was coaching that, bought that up. Fast forward, just through all that, I really got that bug hit me, man. Shout out my brother, man, Steve Ortiz, my other brother, Henry MacArthur, man, currently the head coach at DE. They came into my office. I was working for Lifetime Fitness at the time. They came in, yo, E, man, you come on, man. And ironically, I initially met them dudes when I came back from working for Michael Jackson. I was working at LA Fitness. I didn't have nothing else lined up. I'm like, I got to do something, right? So you fast forward, I did that, got into the youth football world, enjoyed that, man. I've seen some of my players, man, my proteges that are now in college and doing great stuff. And then ultimately, I just moved to the foundational part of it.
Yeah.
Decided to start a nonprofit. It was in 2018. Made it the Maximum Potential Foundation, which is essentially, my goal of it is to really for underprivileged kids that have, they just have some athletic prowess. It's a student athlete based program, but it's not directly for that. So ultimately I want to be, and I've given back so much time and effort and beg people for money, and just so I can give back to the youth, because that's just it. Once I started coaching, it became a very big passion of mine, and I can't get out of it now. I'm in the mix now. I never, that ain't going nowhere probably until I check out of here, but at the end of the day, man, me being able to influence in the youth and the parents of the youth, because that's very important as well, is setting that precedence, man, and making sure that we understand what that road looks like to get to greatness. So that's Max P all wrapped up into one, and by Allah's grace, we want to really do some big things over the next couple of years, and we are.
All right. Coach Dre?
I love it. Same thing, man. I'm right now currently Thurman Youth still. I still have the nonprofit, but I've kind of teetered to less of the youth right now, and I'm kind of into the high school right now. I'm the associate head coach down at NFL yet, on Central and Baseline. So if you know the city of Phoenix, it's the kids in that area definitely have different temptations.
That school has a couple of campuses that were started by Jerry Rice, right?
I think it was Jerry Rice and Steve Young,
Okay.
are the founders. I think it was. I think there's 6 of them in the United States. I think the one here in Phoenix is the only one that has a football team.
Right.
It's a 2A high school. I've been on campus for the last 2-3 weeks. They have a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't have the what we talked about,
Right.
the mentorship around it. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And I think coaches who really care about a passion, it goes deeper than just X's and O's, right? It goes into how can I help this kid stay off the street, or how can I help these young men do this or do that. So, that's always been my passion, man. I don't have a son, so I look at all these boys like as my nephews. If they need any type of advice, man, and I'm open like a book, man.
Right.
Give me a call, holler at me on Facebook. These kids don't have Facebook, but Instagram mostly, But it's always been that, because I've had that. You know what I'm saying? Even my dad is an awesome dad, but he wasn't going to my practice. And then Coach Martinez, I got from Westview, he came from the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? And so he knew what NFL talent looked like. He knew what college talent looked like.
Right.
And so I do believe in these kids, man. A lot of times, I remember, man, when I was coaching at a couple other schools, let me say that, but some of the guys, man, already had labels, man. He's not good enough to go to college. He can't catch. He's out of catch in 3 weeks. What you mean? You know what I'm saying? All it is focus. You know what I'm saying? Don't label. Don't start to label. So, man, it's always a blessing, always for me to deal with youth kids. I do it for them. You know what I'm saying? It's selfless, man. I really do. Maybe eventually touching the college world eventually, but right now my focus is here in Phoenix right now.
Man, I had an idea when we really got to leverage these nonprofits, Dre, to get the resources, because I know they out there, because they're out there, particularly if Mo Streety's involved. If we can, because we can definitely do this, because guess what, man? It's going to really take some resources to get some good coaches over there, and actually to get some kids to go in that direction. So I think we got to, after this, maybe we have to really sit down with Streety, or have a conversation on the phone with Streety and figure out how we could do that. Because just his relationships, your relationships, we can build it up.
Bar none, our relationships are bar none. But and I'm talking about culture, right? We talk about culture, is that there's no. We build each other up,
Yes.
My introduction for him, when I came to the school, he was at school maybe a week or two before me. His introduction to me was, I want you guys to meet Andrae Thurman. He's been playing ball for a long time. He's very good. I'm going to tell you about his journey. He talked to me about 5 minutes. I was at another school. Is Andrae Thurman your receiver coach?
No build up. No.
Man, all of them did.
Right.
That's all I get is
And who introduced you probably didn't play,
facts.
but Pop Warner or something like that. Yeah.
So, it's just.
So disrespectful, bro.
I get it.
In week 6, they're like, you play in the NFL? Where y'all been?
Oh.
Where y'all been?
I get it.
Now you're going to listen to me a little bit, stuff like that. It's crazy, man. It's just how you approach it, I think, and those type stuff. And I do love what Coach Mo does, because he just doesn't have that type of haterism. He doesn't, man. He just wants to build, man. He's like, Trey, I want to just do something with the youth. He's like, eventually, I want you to just be the head coach, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this, Because, I get it, too. At the end of the day, it's still work, what we're doing. We need to be accommodated for it.
People, they've kind of tried to put. It's been a bad thing to where, like, I think it's perfectly okay to where, if you're doing good for people, like, that's better than bagging groceries. So I get better. Come on. So I'm investing my time into humanity, like, because it's put them on a different side of the table. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, man. Like, it's okay to get compensated for doing good things. If the money is available for people to be compensated, it's okay. That's not we recognize that's not the motivation.
Right.
The motivation is the children. The motivation is
absolutely.
Is helping them grow up. But again, if I'm going to optimize all that for them that are from underserved and underprivileged neighborhoods that look like me and have skin my tone, because again, we already up against some challenges based on waking up out the bed. You follow me? So at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with that. So I want to be, like a kid texted me earlier, like last week, asking me to help him get some school clothes. That doesn't settle well with me. Right. A lot of children, they don't. It's a lot of them. How many times, Dre, that you had to go pick up kids from practice, man?
Because on one end, your probably first thought was, what are your parents doing? And then your second thought might have been, what possible trouble could I be in assisting these kids, especially with a situation like we've been talking with Teddy Bridgewater, and all he did was want to just be who he's supposed to be, which is a mentor,
yes,
which is a leader,
yes,
which is a coach, which is someone that's supposed to advocate for these children's growth, and
undiplomatically
coming from a place of where he came from to where he is now. It's like if you know the road, why wouldn't you show the route to get there?
That to me, man, it's heart wrenching. Bridgewater story.
That's where we at in this country right now.
And then we got our or not mine.
I heard somebody say there's rules to this thing. I said,
yeah. But then the president could want to shut down NIL for these kids. So
generational money, man.
Who getting the money, right?
Who's
getting the money?
Absolutely.
What color's getting the money?
And that's a whole other episode right there. But I want to definitely thank you, gentlemen. Short story, and I'll title this story, God Don't Make No Mistakes. We initially were going to have two separate episodes with you two. And through timing, through just everything was going on, I think there's a couple of car accidents that are around here. Mm-hmm. It kind of made it to where we had to push these together. And just like the T-shirts, us not knowing, it all kind of came together. We all know each other. I know you. I've watched you for a long time. You know me. I know you. Watched you for a long time. Yes, you know me as well. And then you two know each other. And initially there was going to be some different type of conversations, but it all came together because we all have this affinity for the youth. Yes. It doesn't, regardless of if it's our actual child, doesn't matter if it's children that we're trying to help, even if it's probably a kid we may see, on the street. We want to offer some guidance. We want to offer some love, some encouragement. So it was no mistake that this conversation and this podcast all happened at once. And it's a little bit long, and I put a little pressure on Mike as far as the edit and everything like that. But it's a blessing to have you two.
It was high level,
not just in this room, but in this world. Because you both had opportunities, some that you squandered, some that you took full hold of. You both had some letdowns, some losses that you could have just let run you all the way over, and then you just be a statistic. But you steered away from that, and you took that winner's mentality, that dogism that you said, Dre, and it's pushed you to this level. And then you had these dreams that you had way before you were where you are now, being a child. Said you wanted to go to the NFL, said you wanted to go to the NFL, and things happened, but you just kept navigating, you kept pushing through that. So I'm glad, as I said at the very beginning of this, to know you two, because you just add to the collective of overcoming.
Yes, sir.
Which is what I say ultimately is the Black experience. I mean, ever since we got here to this country, ever since we got here to this land, that's all that we had to do, And I definitely, there's an invitation, and I'm stamping it right now. I need you two back. I want you two back. We might still dive into a little bit more of this because it's very important, talking about these youth. But there's also some other conversations that I definitely want to.
Yeah, I think we should do a part
discuss.
2, man. We missed.
It's gonna be like a part 5 because I think we got part 1, 2, 3, and 4 right now.
Sure, but no, it was some stuff I know we wanted to touch on, Brother James.
Yeah,
it was beautiful, man. The flow was amazing, man. And, God was with us.
It's nothing more than just a passion that we have.
Yeah,
if we didn't care as much, but So my last segment I always like to have is just where you face the music, face the crowd. So I want you guys to look at that middle camera, Dre. I'm gonna have you go first, and just some words of encouragement that you would have. You don't have to move or anything. You can just stay right there, and just some words of encouragement to the youth, to the people that know of you. Just tell people about yourself and some parting words.
Just an honor to be here. I think that we all need each other in a sense. Don't be afraid to lean on each other. I think keeping the main thing. I think keeping God first is vital into your journey, and understand that you're going to have adversity. You're going to have problems. You're going to have issues, things like that. But it's kind of how you deal with them. Keep people around you that are positive, encouraging. And that's it. And if anybody needs my help or anything else, let me know.
Yeah, man. First and foremost, I thank you so much, Brother James, for the opportunity, man. It's an honor, man, to be here in your presence, man, in the presence of the brothers, man. And Dre, it's an honor, man, to always be around you, brother. For me, the whole thing is facing adversity. Don't be afraid to face these challenges, your personal challenges, your personal demons, and don't judge anybody and don't be too harsh on yourself. It's a lot to overcome during these times in this hour that we in. And, people won't be who you think people are, and they should be, but continue to push, understand that, God is working on every single one of us, and whatever that looks like is whatever that looks like, and that's always a very personal experience. But allow yourself to go through some pain and some adversity, and just keep pushing, because as long as we keep pushing, Allah gives us an opportunity to have more breath. We got another opportunity, So that's my thing, and just be a great servant. I just want to be a better servant, Brother James, and just be a better human being. So that's just what that is.
Right. TJ, you want to say something? No. Man, a short word.
You look like your daddy, man.
Tune in to our next episode that we will have with a lot more great guests like the two we've had here. Tune into our YouTube, which is the PODical Son Podcast. Check out our Instagram. Check out our Facebook. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Just show your love. And we're going to bring people that you want on. I'm going to continue, because I know a lot of people, I'm going to continue to bring on people that I've known for a very long time and allow them to share their story, give them this platform and this microphone and their strong voice and their strong presence to let you know more about them. But tune in to the next PODical Son Podcast. I'm James Harris, Dre, Eric, TJ, Mike. God bless.
Love.